It's been almost 30 years since Lisa and I got married. We had a pretty simple wedding. One bridesmaid, one groomsman, one preacher. We didn't have any flowers on the stage. We just had some potted plants scattered around. But I did want the music to be something special. Music is very important to me. Lisa's brother and her niece sang a duet accompanied by my sister on the piano. I wrote a song that I sang to Lisa on the stage. But what would we do about the wedding march? The music that the bride comes down the aisle to. I thought, you know what would be cool? A harp. I'd never seen a harp at a wedding. I thought that would be beautiful. I called the University of Texas and talked to a harpist for the symphony. And he said, yeah, I'll be happy to do your wedding. Great, it's gonna be awesome. But then a couple of months before the ceremony, he called me and said, oh, I've got a conflict. I've taken another engagement that day. But I've passed along your information to a colleague of mine. He'll do a great job for you. He's a great harpist. All righty. Okay. So everything proceeds. It's almost time for the wedding. It's just a week or two before when harpist number 2 calls me and says, oh, I have another gig that day, but I've given the information to a young lady I know. She's a really good harpist, and she's going to play your wedding. All right. I had no choice in the matter. I had no plan B. So the day of the wedding, everything is set, everything's in place, everybody's ready, except there's no harpist. And in a little room behind the stage in the church, I'm there with my brother, the best man, and my father, the preacher, and I'm pacing the floor. I'm not nervous about getting married. I'm nervous that I might have to hum the wedding march. Finally, about 5 minutes before the ceremony, a harried-looking young woman comes scurrying up the aisle lugging this enormous harp, and she sets a chair down at the front and sits down and begins to play the wedding march. And it sounds pretty great. I stand at the front of the church and I look up the aisle, and here comes my beautiful bride with her father. Oh man, does she look amazing. And everything is going beautifully, and she gets up to the front of the church, and the harpist is getting right close to the end of the wedding march. Dum, dum, da, dum, dum, dum. She hits a chord that has never been played before in all of recorded human history. She looks at the music, hits the chord again. It's worse the second time. She puts her face very close to the music and hits it a third time. It's still not right, but I think she figures that's as good as it's going to get. And so she goes on and finishes the last 2 bars of the song. That is the day that I quit believing that the harp was a heavenly instrument, my friends. Well, it was the one sour note on an otherwise beautiful day, and although I obviously still remember that incident, I look back on it now with more amusement than annoyance. And I've learned, though, that when it comes to a marriage or really any other sort of relationship, you can dwell on the one bad note, or you can just enjoy and delight in the beauty of the overall song, the excitement of another day, the celebration of love. Yeah, bad notes are going to happen. There's going to be an occasional clinker along the way, but you're going to feel a lot better if you learn to stop harping on it. I'm Mike Robertson. Come see us at the sanctuary this Sunday morning, 11 o'clock.